I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Salve! Si sarà reso conto forse che l'ho appena osservata e ascoltata, vero? Situazione un pelo imbarazzante. Ci servono altri indizi. Abitanti di Whitechapel, Richard Nethercott e Clayton Darby? Che sia qualcuno di loro?
Welcome, sir. Please take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Ok. Quindi lei non è l'uomo che sto cercando, ma questo potrebbe comunque aiutarmi. Ora so dov'è Dorothy Crane, ma voglio sentire la gente cosa ne pensa.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Stiamo alla colpa agli immigrati, no? In realtà come infermiera è ottima.
Yes, she's a nurse, and quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
Ecco perché la lettera è in due.
Explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Dorothy regala farmaci e medicinali gratuitamente. E li ruba da noi? Forse. Qui se non mi sa... La maggior parte sarà malata, vero?
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Capisco.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Non era uno scall.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools.
Uno scavenger.
Too bad I was mugged though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Interessante. Esatto, possiamo cercare un po' di spicci.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
Peterson. Ok, abbiamo un indizio su qualcuno che ancora non abbiamo visto. Arthur Lewis è in una situazione economica difficile a causa delle estorsioni di Joe. E lui già ci avevano messo in guardia? Era lui, mi pare, che ci avessero detto che era un elemento pericoloso. Qui non abbiamo altri indizi.
Right then. Show me what you have.
Ok, allora. Qualcosa di utile oltre a parti. Che tra l'altro penso abbiano dei prezzi non troppo cari, ma al momento non so neanche cosa mi serva. Quindi non prenderò nulla, ma oh, guarda che abbiamo proprio il famoso Joe Peterson. Sarà molto interessante conoscerla.
Excuse me, sir. I
Molto
have a few
basso.
questions for you.
Another journalist?
Un
I didn't
altro?
answer the first one, so piss off.
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
L'hai proposto di aiutarla? Oh. Davvero?
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
Con molta calma, ragazzo.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Cosa che è già piuttosto rara. E in qualche modo apprezzabile.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Lo stesso per cui abbiamo ben 2 membri già tra i nostri conoscenti.
Most people don't become thugs when unemployed. This is a choice you made.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Escono gli altarini. Joe e Bart Lewis erano buoni amici una volta. Questo pure varrà per entrambi? Esatto. E nient'altro qui.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
C'è molto da ragionare. Ma Clayton è nella zona. E abbiamo ben 2 persone. Lui è il giornalista, probabilmente.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton
Eccolo.
Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Benissimo. Prendiamo la larga.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
Non so, ma mi sembra davvero un rischio inutile andare in giro di notte quando non ce n'è motivo reale, probabilmente. Il mio razionalismo è stato messo in dubbio recentemente. Mettiamola così. Prendiamola lontanissima.
I must confess, some of my rational views have been shaken by recent events.
I'll remember to stay away from the district's roughest streets then.
Bravissimo. Questo è quello che volevo. Lei è stanco. Potrei decidere di aiutarla quasi subito lei, ma vediamo prima di parlare almeno.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
In qualche modo ha ragione.
I served in France. Our top priority must be to put an end to this butchery. This war must stop now.
Sir, streets are a battlefield too. An invisible and untold war is going on, and it must be stopped.
Vero?
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
A grosso rischio.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Clayton Darby vuole che i giornali dicano la verità sulla situazione a Whitechapel, che è bene ma anche male. Dipende da quello che scopre.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And
Ecco.
that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Ah, così te la giochi, sei indipendente. Molto rischioso. Molto rischioso
I
davvero.
heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
Ah. Potrei puntare direttamente con lei, ma lui parla troppo e se voglio mettere la cosa a tacere e riprenderla con me senza creare un putiferio potrebbe essere rischioso.
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital will bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious, never goes out, doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
Interessante.
He has no relatives at all?
No, except for that strange man, a poet named Richard
L'ho
Nithercott,
sentito.
who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nithercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Interessante, magari ci do un'occhiata.
He never goes out.
No, a few days ago he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really?
E c'è cascato.
How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Gliel'ha fatto anche capire. Interessante.
He never goes out.
No,
Really?
he went...
Ok. Quindi questo era tutto per ora. Abbiamo avuto
Goodbye,
una
Mr.
parziale informazione.
Farewell.
Quindi Nithercott rimane... E qui siamo alla chiesa. Quindi lei è Nithercott?
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize,
No.
my son.
Ok, è un prete.
Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming
Oh, è
Armageddon.
uno di
I
quei
am Dr.
preti.
Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I
Ah.
thought, my son.
Certo, certo.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
Perché credo
All
nella
scientists
scienza.
are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Dica, mi dica.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your
In
so-called...
fondo esistono i
As a
vampiri.
doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Ah, non hai idea di quanti ne ho visti io, ma... Continui.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No,
What is left then?
cleansing fire.
Ah, diavolo. Lei sta a pezzi, vero? Tobias vuole purificare l'epidemia con il fuoco, pericolosissimo. E lei ha... serve un'influenza di 5. Siamo lontani anni luce.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Mamma mia, io non so le implicazioni, quanto lei sia dentro alla rete di questa città, no? Come un ragno tessitore. Ma se lei sì che la divorerei. Siamo nel XX secolo, su via.
Fire is just the instinctive answer of a caveman facing something he does not understand. This is the 20th century.
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
Mamma mia.
If you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool.
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church.
Oh, St. Mary.
While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Non credo particolarmente a nessun tipo di religione, ma crede che il parroco della chiesa di St. Mary, Joseph Larrabee, predichi una fede falsa, come se la sua fosse la fede vera. Ok. Lui è stanco, abbiamo detto. Bronchite, stanchezza, emicrania, qui stanno davvero male. Non hanno già l'influenza, ma...
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know?
Ne abbiamo già
Blinded
parlato.
by science as
But you are seeking
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition.
Ok, niente di davvero interessante qui.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted.
Come si chiamerebbe?
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel
Samuel.
to Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
Camperà molto poco Samuel. Camperà molto poco.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Lei è un folle. Lei è completamente un folle.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that nurse Crane
Proprio
you
lei.
mentioned.
Domanda generica prima.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Mamma mia che bigotto.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved.
Resistenza comunista, capisco perché dà le, diciamo, medicinali gratis. Interessante. Molto interessante in realtà.
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
Presto dovremo fare un po' di scelte. Ho questa sensazione. Trova la cassetta postale e la lettera che è stata stracciata anche, ovviamente. Senta lei, visto che è qui.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Sì. Prenda cura di
Do you
sé.
need assistance?
That would be nice of you, Doctor. Who knows what I may have caught you in my investigation.
Si rimetta, anche se ha la brutta abitudine di dire la verità.
If you persist in investigating the most pox-ridden boroughs of London, you must accept the risks.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Lei comunque mi sta simpatico per ora. Ok. Si torna già in una zona un pizzico più pericolosa. Lui è cieco. Ce ne stavano due, non l'avevo notato. Non l'avevo notato. Sono tre. Uno. No. Via. Allontaniamoci un attimo. Via. Ok, quello sta facendo qualcosa di brutto che non mi piace. Ok, lei intanto mi rimanga là. Tecnicamente avevo lo scudo che doveva bloccare quel colpo, ma volevo testarlo, ma no, sulle prese non funziona. Abbiamo imparato una cosa nuova. E qui? Niente di davvero importante. Porta sigarette. Proiettili. Ok. Qui è chiuso. Che spreco tutta questa roba lasciata qui a marcire. Trova Richard in questa zona. Abbiamo un altro cimitero. Salve.
Morbidity can breathe.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your
Oh, lei cercavo. Lei proprio.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to
Proprio.
come, see it for myself, alone.
Molto pericoloso.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
Stupendo.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear Doctor.
Certo. Lei ha il raffreddore. Quello dovremmo poterlo curare, se non erro.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
Certo, non la cosa più sicura, dovrei dirle.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly
Non mi
where
tirare
the
in
weak
mezzo.
dare not.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
Nel senso che tutti quanti muoiono? Sì, ma comunque non è una cosa bellissima.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the Death of so many innocents is a tragedy, but the scourge has not been all bad for the city.
Ah, no?
Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
È folle? Ci stavano non so, ci poteva essere un esodo, potevano andare nelle campagne per renderla felice, perché dovevano morire in modo atrocemente doloroso?
My mother loved poetry. Perhaps your words would have touched her sensitive nature. I only see a dreadful disease.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
No, il problema è che i tuoi sentimenti sono davvero malati. Forse è questo che ti rende un poeta, non saprei.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Che bello, proprio il posto dove andare a trascorrere le vacanze.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir, Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much, and that's the beauty of it. She can't speak.
La fioraia.
She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Non l'abbiamo ancora vista. Camellia è come una musa per Richard Nethercott, che la considera un mistero irrisolto. Qui sono collegati, eccolo. Sono collegati fra di loro, anche Petrescu è là in mezzo. Perché? Qual è il loro collegamento? Ci mancano ancora parecchi tasselli. Il prete è a sé. Cosa interessante. Cerchia sociale e nessuna relazione. Lui è difficile farlo sparire, ma ci potremmo arrivare. Qui dobbiamo cercare di curare il tutto in modo che arrivi almeno a essere stabile. Ma non è facile, anzi andrà sicuramente a peggiorare se non riusciamo a fare un po' di farmaci. Bronchite non abbiamo modo, raffreddore forse abbiamo modo di curare. Stanchezza non l'abbiamo ancora curato, ma ci potremmo pensare perché il quartiere è davvero alla frutta. Ha paura di scoprire la verità su di lei? Interessante domanda.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
Lei è davvero un egoista bastardo.
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Visto che regala
Maybe I
fiori.
prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
La sua mente non è soltanto complicata, è proprio distorta.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Allora le farò un'altra domanda.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu. Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require
Anche lui era
mediocre
comunista.
writing skills.
Anche lui era comunista, ecco il loro collegamento qual era. Ops. non volevo vedere lui, volevo andare da Petrescu. È un ex attivista politico rumeno. Entrambi sono rumeni, quindi. Credo che non ci sia nient'altro da chiederti.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Ci manca giusto una cassetta postale e la lettera strappata. Ah. Sycophant Publishing Ltd. Lavender Court, Camden Street, Londra. Gentile signor Nethercott, la ringraziamo per averci spedito la sua raccolta di poesie e canzoni della città sconfitta, che abbiamo trovato interessante e profonda come le abbiamo detto la prima volta che l'abbiamo ricevuta. Quindi era già un secondo invio. Ahimè, visti i tempi infausti che il nostro paese sta affrontando, dovrà capire che un titolo simile sarebbe inappropriato per qualsiasi pubblicazione. Pertanto, dato che lei si rifiuta ancora di cambiare il titolo e insiste nell'esigere solo la pubblicazione integrale della sua opera, mi rammarico nel comunicarle che la Sycophant Publishing ha scelto di non stamparla. Con i più cordiali saluti, E.J.G. Morris. Ovviamente è una cosa così deprimente. Richard non è mai riuscito ad avere successo con la poesia. Ok, un attimo. Prima di andare alla cassetta postale.
Good evening, Mr. Nethercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
Forse.
You don't really make a living from your scribblings, do you, Richard?
No, sir, I don't. I work so hard. I put all my time, my energy, my devotion into the precise carving of words.
Però scegli di essere deprimente e deviato. Non mi sembra che sia esattamente povero.
Still, you don't seem to suffer from poverty.
With thanks to my parents, actually. I'm afraid I would not be able to live on my own without their help.
You seem embarrassed.
Someday I hope to proudly offer my first
Quindi sono
publication
ancora
to
in
my
vita.
parents. Until that day, I'll remain the failure of a son they have to support.
Mamma mia, ragazzo, stai a pezzi. Anche tu sei abbastanza inutile. Ma sei addentro a un rapporto particolare. Soprattutto non so qual è il tuo reale... Cioè sì, sappiamo che conosci Petrescu, ma...
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Sappiamo che conosci Petrescu, ma questo non è... Camelia. Stiamo incontrando un sacco di persone e i misteri poco a poco si iniziano a dipanare, ma... Ho la gola secca. No, Camelia. Non intendo soddisfarmi con te. Ma qualcosa dovrò pur bere. Presto.